Go live here on the Just Montina channel. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to choose to rejoice and be glad in it. I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes to come on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, morning. It is Thursday. Good morning, it's Thursday. Good morning, it's Thursday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello and good morning. It is Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be here with y'all. I'm excited every day. And it's not because things are always going well. Matter of fact, I'm in a valley, y'all. I'm in the valley. Because sometimes we in the valley. We sometimes at the top of the valley, peering in the valley, coming up out the valley, and just going on and on. But it's life, right? It's life. So, welcome. Oh, I got going on today. All right, y'all. So, I went to the gym this morning. I was not feeling my cycle class. I actually left a little bit early because I was just like, I'm not feeling the class today. But I know me. So, some of the things we're going to talk about today are our rainbows and unicorns and those crazy trauma bonds and what else? Protecting your peace, sis. I want to actually pull up a picture that I'm going to share with y'all today. So, good morning. Good morning to my friends that are joining me. Good morning. So, I'm going to bring up, because I got to show y'all something today that I was talking about yesterday. All right. So, my name is Montina. This is the Just Montina channel. And I created this channel because I wanted to create something for women that wanted to stay married. That's it. I wanted to create something for women that wanted to stay married. And so, in doing that, I realized that I had a lot of friends that were going through some things in their marriage. And I realized that most of my friends that are married were going through some things in their marriage. And when I told them about this, they were like, oh, I needed this too, sis. So, this is a channel to help you get and stay married and attract the love that you desire and deserve. And I'm going to tell you that 50% of first marriages end in divorce. 67% of second marriages, what do? They end in divorce. And 73% of third marriages end in divorce. And that's if people are crazy enough to get married again. My husband and I were part of the crazy ones. I'm his third wife. He's my third husband. And I'm committed until death do us part, even though we go through some of the bumpy things in life. And so, creating this, we need support for women, right? We need support as women. We need support in relationships. We need support in marriages. There are all these support groups. I was Googling some things today as I prepared just my mind and some things I'm going through. There are so many things out there about women that hate their husbands and, divorce support groups. Like there's a lot of support around that, but there's not a lot of support around marriage. And how do I stay married? And how do I get through this difficult time in my life? So that's what this channel is for. So today we're actually going to go into our battlefield of the mind devotion. Let me put my glasses on here. All right. So, what we're going to do is talk about the mind. And she's talking about a wandering mind. She says, I believe the expression keep your foot means don't lose your balance, get off track. So, this is what Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep your foot, give your mind to what you are doing. The amplification of this phrase indicates that one stays on track by keeping his mind on what he is doing. She said she had wandering mind and had to train it by its discipline. It wasn't easy. Sometimes she has a relapse. So, hey, sometimes we have a relapse in our minds when we go back to some of the things we ruminate on or think about like that. We're just negative in our lives or in our relationships, in our marriages. And she said she hadn't arrived at a place of perfect concentration, but she understands how important it is not to allow her mind to go wherever it wishes, whenever it desires. So she said wanders to move about aimlessly in Rome, to go by indirect routes, meander, think, or express oneself unclearly or incoherently. She says you could be sitting someplace, you ever have your mind just be like all over the place. That happened to me this morning during my cycle class. I'm like, my mind is just not here. Joyce Meyer said, Battlefield of the Mind. Remember, in spiritual warfare, the mind is the battlefield. That is where the enemy makes his attack. He knows very well that even though a person attends church, You attend wherever it is where you're getting your spiritual food. Even you, like I said, you could be sitting here right now and things are going on in your mind. If you can't keep your mind on what is being taught, you'll gain absolutely nothing. It's why I take notes when I go to church. The devil knows that a person cannot discipline himself or herself to complete a project if they can't discipline their mind and keep it on what it's doing. So, when you go through challenging times, it's like all you can think about. There's times I'm going through things, it's like, okay, I have to breathe. I'll put on some music. I will read some books. Last night I listened to an audiobook all night long. The Stevie Wonder says, and she says extreme fatigue. Uh-oh, lost my page here. Flip. She says here, the mind wandering phenomenon also occurs during conversation. There are times when her husband's talking to her and she says she realized she don't know what he said. So this right here, she said, confronting issues is the only way to get on the victorious side of them. The devil will give up when he sees that you are not going to give in. And I put here, I don't believe the devil ever gives up on our lives because he doesn't, right? He has a well laid out strategy plan and deceitful deception. So if he's not attacking you in your relationship, he could be attacking you in your finance. If he's not attacking you in your finance, he could be attacking you in your body. If he's not attacking you in your body, he could be attacking your kids or attacking your grandkids. He's always on attack. Like he's always out to get you. Isn't that crazy? He's like, oh my goodness. So we literally, he's never going to give up because we literally live in a space in our lives where he's always trying to attack our peace. Remember, Satan wants you to think you are mentally deficient. You mentally are lost. You mentally don't have it. He wants you to think something's wrong with you. Sis, ain't nothing wrong with you. Remember, I tell you, it's nothing wrong with you. The truth is, you need to just begin disciplining your mind because, again, when he does discipline your mind, that's why I say be emotionally mature. Don't let it run all over town doing whatever it pleases. Begin today to keep your foot, to keep your mind on what you're doing. You will need to practice for a while. Breaking old habits, forming new ones always take time, but it's worth it in the end. Even joining me today. Hey, Bridget. Hey, y'all. Hey. Got my text this morning from my girlfriends, my sister friends. We got to break the old habits and create new ones. And even the big thing that I brought out my piece today. So we're going to talk about a wondering mind tomorrow. Leave it here. We'll do that one tomorrow since it's Friday because she gives us some specific action items to do. Put my notes here for tomorrow. I brought out my peace sign because you know what? Above all, we have to protect our peace. I know it's probably backwards. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. He says something, he does something. Don't even respond. My husband actually sent me something recently and I just didn't even respond to it. Like, just didn't, I don't respond to a lot of things. I might, and I do, I just ignore it and I send another text about something else. I literally would just ignore it because there are times that you have to be emotionally mature. Protect your peace. The other thing is, again, where is the enemy attacking you? And I know for a lot of us, I know for me, I experienced a lot of childhood trauma and some adult, just life is lifing, right? But my life coach and I started going over this book last year, How to Meet Yourself. And I realized in it, I've done a lot of the work over the years. But if you are going through some things that are bringing up some past things, like there are things in my marriage that are bringing up past things, and I'm like, what in the world? Well, it could bring up abandonment, it could bring up rejection, it could bring up anxiety, frustration, feelings of not good enough because this trauma here is going back to your childhood trauma there. So I've done a lot of inner work, speaking to your inner child work, working with my life coach about meeting myself, work a lot of work on protecting my peace. Because I'm going to tell you, these men out here, remember, and again, they're demonically possessed. So the enemy is out here to get your peace, and he's using him as a gateway. You have to protect your peace at all costs. So understanding your emotional self. She has things like meet your habit self, and it's a workbook. It's also an Audible. But I want you all to really think about what you're thinking about, your breath work, your meditation work. You're walking. Sometimes I need to just go outside in nature and look at the trees and the sky and just say, okay, God, I'm here. You got to speak to me. Because like I said, this stuff in marriage, like I said, you at the top of the valley, you in the valley, you going about the valley. And sometimes even single women will be like, oh, I don't want to go through all that. I thought about that this morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There is a special anointing that comes along with you when you're married. It's just a special anointing. And you deal with the certain things. I enjoy being married, but there is a special anointing that comes upon it because you just think like, it's not. easy. It's not, you think it is going in, and then you realize, oh, this is work, but it's work that's worth the work. Because again, the enemy doesn't show us the full picture. He doesn't show you what I'm getting ready to go through this weekend when I'm remarried. My father of my three children is remarried. He's not even going to be there. Then my daughter-in-law's parents, her dad's remarried, her mom's not. Like, there's divorce in the family. I don't want that for them. I don't want that. I really wish I would have saw the full picture. And I know it's difficult to see it now, sis. But remember, you only get a preview in life. You don't see the full picture later. So again, trauma bonds, don't trauma bond with people. Don't trauma bond with your sisters. Girl, he's crazy. But you know what? I'm just going, it just is what it is. And that's it. And you move on, because we have to dare to hope. I have my notes here. Dare to hope. Remember, have our power, right? Our connection to our source. And actually, I was listening to Proverbs today, and I realized, well, actually, I've known, but I can listen to anything. But remember, those are the words, right? The wise words of Solomon. They're not necessarily the words of God, inspired by. So that's why I say read things. A lot of people get caught up in the spiritual. Read and show thyself, or study to show thyself approved, a workmanship that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Read. If y'all seen, even now, I have a bunch of papers here, magazines. Read. You can learn from anything and anyone. Read, 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 read. Renew your mind. Okay. So that trauma bonding, we know these men are crazy. They are crazy. And I'm gonna get to y'all's comments in just a second, but I wanted to show you an example of, say for instance, I'm going through something, which I go through things a lot. The enemy is always trying to attack me, and he only really tries to attack me in my marriage. Every place else, yesterday, I'm at a conference all day. I'm making connections. I was awarded a contract with the Hartsfield Jackson Airport, y'all. I was nominated for an award yesterday. I mean, my life is amazing. Now, I don't come home and share those things with my husband because, again, it's just not the way our world works together. I have to be mindful of what I share. But my life, and then I, walk into some things and I'm just like, here we go again. But that's where the enemy wants to attack me. But say for instance, I see somebody and they're like, girl, how are things going? I'm very frank. And I'm like, girl, they a little tough right now. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Here's how you shift the conversation to unicorns and rainbows. Because life is tough. So I love perfumes. And a girlfriend of mine smelled something, my perfume on me. And she said, girl, what you wearing? I was like, oh, girl, this is Versace or whatever. And I said, I love perfume. Some of y'all love oils. And she was like, oh, she was like, girl, I said, yeah, I'm gonna send you my collection. So I thought I had a lot, right? This is my collection, if you can see it. Okay, this is my collection. So I'm sitting up here like, this mine, this is my collection, girl. She said, girl, I have an addiction. I really have an addiction. So I'm like, really? So first she sent me this picture. So I'm like, oh, okay, girl. Then she sent me another picture. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God, look at this. Whoa! Look at our perfumes. Oh, where my thing going? Look at, can y'all believe this? I mean, can you actually believe it? I'm not, it looked like a store. It literally looks like a store. So now I mean, I can't even believe it. So now, I know, right? Now when I talk to her, guess what we talk about? We bond over perfumes. And I know that seems something small. I have another girlfriend here. Bridget's here. We talk about Chicago stuff, and she watches my videos and say, hey, I'm gonna tell you, you made a double step here. That's how you shift conversations. Because if you don't learn how to do this and protect your peace, you will bond. We'll bond together over our crazy ass husbands. We will. We'll bond very good. And you don't really form a solid rooted friendship. And even as I'm sharing this with you, I'm telling you, I don't overshare. I don't overshare with anybody. Unless it's like my grandmother. I have an uncle that was like, he asked me something. I said, well, I'm not going to share that with you. And I said, I shared it with my grandmother. And he was like kind of offended. Well, why won't you share with me? I said, because I don't want to. Like, I don't have to because I don't want to. So again, I'm just trying to help us all understand that we get it, sis. I get it that there are things going on. Protect your peace, get a therapist, invest in some even online, invest in some journaling, and get you some good girlfriends because we need each other. But that's how you do it. And the last thing here is I want to encourage you, sis, to stay in overflow. Part of this is your overflow. It's my overflow pouring into you. That's why I take a couple days off on the weekends. But I got this wine club. I went to an wine glass, an event. Sometimes Glendora's on our call, and she's a mental health therapist. And it says, "Mine and let's see, mine and my own business, my healing my business." Right? We're constantly in healing, and I want you to remember as your cup is getting poured into. Right? This is my cup. This is my cup. My cup. My cup. My cup. I give to you from what is flowing into this bowl. I don't give to you from my cup. I can't give you this, so I give you this. And I want you to remember this in your life. You don't have everything for everybody. You can't allow everyone to dump everything onto you. You don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity. Okay? This is a life that you're living because not only are you have to pray for your husband or being in that relationship, you got kids, I got grandkids. So pour out of your overflow, which means you need to keep your cup in overflow, sis. I'm part of your filling up your cup, but I want you to do what it takes to get an overflow. And again, I'm going through, I don't know how these pastors, actually, as I've been doing this call, I be thinking like their pastors be going through it because I'm like, the enemy be attacking me a little bit more. I'm like, get away. You leave me alone. You leave my sisters alone. But it just is what it is. So I'm not taking my foot up off his neck because he ain't taking his foot up off of me. He's not taking he's after you. So I gotta pray for you. And since we are in this together, okay? So know that you have a sister friend out here praying for you. And I know what y'all going through. Some of y'all got husbands with narcissistic personality disorder, bipolar disorder, PTSD, very aggressive in nature because they are, in these aggressive jobs, police officers, government. I met a therapist that was married to a police officer. She divorced him though, and she's in a third marriage. And she was like, girl, the aggression, just the way he was talking to her. So again, protect your peace. It is everything. So as I exit today, I want to encourage y'all to protect your peace. I'm going to respond to these comments and I'm going to share the prayer. I can't kind of see here and read comments, so I'm going to actually go in here and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through some of y'all's comments now. Good morning. Good morning. Yep. Hey, girl. Hey. Email me. Yes. Pick your battles. And I'm going to tell you something. Y'all, listen, emotionally mature. I just don't respond to everything. I'm telling you, if we talked offline, you would be like, it just is what it is, but it doesn't bother me because I go about my business. Now, my husband might be bothered about some things and he copes the way he copes, but I go about my business because I keep myself fit, feminine, friendly, fun, fine. I'm fine. So, you know what? No weapon formed against me is going to prosper. Oh, and I can't even let us get off here. I put it on our whole shield. Okay, put it on twice today, girl. Double layered of perfume today. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is your strength. You are stronger than you realize this. You have the special anointing because you're married. All right, y'all. There are a lot of scents. Yes, 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 yes. All right, I'm going to share the prayer here, and I promise you, it's going to be all right. Stay in there, sis. Stick it out. Ignore him. Go minute by minute, day by day. And if you are above the valley, peering in, listen, the small things matter. Do the small things, smile, and keep it moving. You got this. All right, sis. Thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate y'all. Please share this with a friend because y'all know, listen, in relationships, especially in marriages, we need it. All right, y'all. I'm here for you. I will see you tomorrow. The joy of the Lord is your strength. The joy of the Lord is your strength.